Toast here, and welcome to another all kinds of awesome album review slash recommendation. As I said before on previous videos, I'm not going to do a review of every song, or we're not going to hold hands and listen to it together, while we nod our heads. Because I'm the world's greatest guitarist, because I have magical ears along with magical shredding fingers. Since I've been in and out of the business for over 4 decades, since I've roadied for so many bands, and quite simply, my ears are pure magic. So I'm going to give you some recommendations of albums you just gotta listen to. I mean, to put it quite bluntly, not to get harsh, but you owe it to yourself to listen to these, all kinds of awesome albums, trademark, that I'm introducing you to. Or you may not already know them, but I'm just gonna give some of my personal feelings on the albums. So far, I've been on I was actually in every record cover, and it's no different with this one. It's just a little bit different. It's no different, but it's a little bit different. Yeah, that makes no sense, but you get it. Once again, keeping up with my tradition of, I seem to have a thing for bands that are single syllable names that are 4 or less letters. Last night I did Rush, Moving Pictures. Rush is, Canada's best export, in my personal opinion, at least on the music scene. But let's get right into it. Today's all kinds of awesome album is by Tool. Tool. It just happens to work that way. This is not a new record of theirs, as you probably already know. This actually was released about, a little over 15 years ago. It's called Lateralus. It's their third big album. They had Opiate, the first one, which is another awesome, pretty awesome on the scale album. But this will be their third studio effort, as it were. As I told you before, I've been on many album covers, just knowing the right people, being in the right place, being the world's most awesome guitarist, the world's greatest guitarist, trademark. I happen to rub elbows with the stars, and, I was good buddies with Tom Morello, another fellow guitarist. I taught him a few tricks. Of Rage Against the Machine and, Chris Cornell's Audio Slaves. So he happened to know Maynard James Keenan's, and I happened to be visiting Tom. He needed help with this new technique he was working on, and, happened to be by the studio, and not only am I coughing on Schism, y'all know how to pronounce, what song I'm talking about. You hear me coughing about at the 4:22, mark on the album. It's way in the background, they kept it in, just good buddy of Tom Morello's. But, I'm one of these eyes. I think I'm the 4th one from the bottom on this side, but that's me. Or it might be this one, but it's one of these. So I'm on another album cover, it's, luck of the draw. But this album is all kinds of awesome. This isn't the first pressing. I have the first pressing. It's still in plastic. But it's still all kinds of awesome, my eye's in here a couple times too, it's one of them a couple times, it's my left eye. But, I'm on this album. Tool has my respect because they do really complex music, I have a lot of respect for the bands that do simple music too, but, Canada has their Rush, from the 70s, and, In my opinion, that gets the term prog rock, progressive rock, and this certainly, falls under that. But I'd like to think of them as America's Rush, or my personal feelings on it. But this is one of the albums. Once again, camera troubles. Don't know if I'm in frame, but awesome, all kinds of awesome. We got the skeletal system there, and then you flip it, and you got another all kinds of awesome picture. The muscular system. I'm sure Adam Jones, their guitarist, another good guitarist buddy of mine, had a lot to do. And don't hold me to this, but if he didn't draw them, he had a lot to do with the packaging itself. He's won Grammys for that. On 10,000 Days, he won a Grammy for that, or the band won a Grammy for packaging, which is all kinds of awesome. And for this album, we got Inside the Brain, the circulatory system, I guess you would call it. And then on this side, kind of mix of a little bit of everything with a cool star there. And that looks like the star that Danny Carey has on a bass drum. Awesome drummer. He's not an end dog. He's not a Neil Peart. But he tears up the toms. I really respect that. I'm a pretty awesome drummer too, but I'm not the world's greatest drummer. I am the world's greatest guitarist, trademark. Let me get this packaging in here. A lot of great songs on here. Like any Tool album, any prog rock album, you got to listen to it front to back. My rating is all kinds of awesome. Some of the cool things about this album, I mentioned a song, Schism, awesome song. Parabole, Parabola, awesome songs. My personal favorite is the song, The Patient. I like the way that song builds up and raises and lowers. They're really known for that, building the landscape of audio delight. One of the songs is really cool on here. Still in frame. One of the songs, they use a number system in the syllables of the lyrics called I think it's called the Fibonacci, it's a weird number sequence where it's 1 + 1 = 2, and then they do 2 + 1 = 3, and then it's 3 + 2, and they continue in that pattern, almost like a spiral pattern if you were to put it on paper. And that's one of those things you got to respect, especially, me as the world's greatest guitarist and all-around great musician with magical ears of honey. I notice these things, and, things like that are away from the norm, they will stick out. This album, all their albums really, I'll definitely talk about more of their albums in the future. They're epic and all kinds of awesome. They got the respect of the world's greatest guitarist, Artemus Toast. Follow me at artemustoast.com. Tool, Lateralus, all kinds of awesome. The Pinnacle, the star at the top of the Christmas tree, the Red Ryder BB gun that's hiding behind the counter that you don't know about. It's that magical, all kinds of awesome album. Got to hit the button on the camera. Artemus Toast, out.